After a couple of image mistakes on my previous trip, I was ready to return to the Eastern Sierra for a second attempt at some good large format images during fall color. The perfect opportunity arrived when my friend Corey from San Diego asked if I'd like to ride along for a trip he was making over the following weekend. After some quick schedule checks, I agreed, and we set out for the mountains late Friday night, waking up for a frosty morning at the foot of the Eastern Sierra, and a second redeeming chance to photograph this beautiful alpine pond at sunrise on a still morning. Well, we just lugged our cameras out to this meadow over here, which is a really beautiful meadow, and it's one of my favorite spots up here. The only problem is we kind of decided that the light wasn't ideal and the leaves are not exactly at peak. So rather than waste film on a shot that isn't perfectly ideal, we decided to save our film and shoot somewhere else instead. So, like I've said before, a lot of shooting large format and shooting film in general is just scouting, and landscape photography as well, is just scouting for compositions, scouting for light, and waiting for the two to come together, where the composition, the light, the conditions all line up, and then you're able to make a really good exposure. Because if you can pre-visualize a shot, but then the conditions aren't exactly right for it, a lot of times it's not going to come out as good as it could have if you had just waited or saved your film for a better location and composition. So it's better to shoot fewer images and better ones than to waste all your film or time on images that just aren't really going to be ideal. So we're going to move on and try and find some other places to shoot. This peaceful alpine meadow was covered in a fresh, glistening coat of frost, and the atmosphere here was such that I could take it in all day. Throughout the rest of the day, we went from location to location as I showed Corey around several of my favorite photography spots in these mountains, and we explored and experienced them in the shifting sunlight, searching for ideal compositions and light.
You know what? Well, they're green, but they're backlit. You could almost shoot it like that, because you could use them as a foreground.
This scene was really beautiful, but the trees were far away, so we decided to use telephoto lenses. Finding a nice composition, we both set up our 4x5 field cameras to capture the scene. Corey with his Toyo view camera, and me with my 3rd gen Intrepid. This little stand of aspens is one of my favorites. We decided to experiment with black and white and color negative films. Here you see the scene as it appears on my ground glass, inverted and flipped. What appears on the ground glass is exactly what will be captured onto the large sheet of film. As the sun moved beyond the mountains to the west, it cast this valley into shadow, creating a beautiful indirect light which was perfect for photographing these quaking aspens along a babbling stream. We spent the remainder of the evening here creating images until we lost the light and were forced to head back down the mountain. For this particular scene, I used the Fujifilm W 180mm 5.6 lens and some Fujifilm Velvia 100 film. After moving the camera further downstream, I set up again on a precarious spot, standing on a culvert overlooking a stream. For this image, I used the Fujifilm C 300mm f8.5 lens and some Fujifilm Velvia 100 film, again on the Intrepid 8x10. After some more exploring, Corey found this beautiful spot tucked on the opposite side of the stream amongst the aspens. We both were able to make a couple of different compositions here. After a while, the weather grew cold and the light grew dim. We knew it was time to pack up and head back down to camp. In all, it had been a very productive day, with a lot of new images created and many beautiful areas explored. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe as there are more videos coming soon. I'm Justin Lowry, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.